Hello everyone, good evening, it's me Skin Glow and Afro, and I am back to do another YouTube video for you lot today. So as promised, I said I was going to do a proper video on the whole citizenship subject. So how to gain citizenship in Caribbean countries. Now I have picked 5 countries to talk about the whole topic, including talking about what citizenship is in general, briefly again on the Windrush situation, why they will be impacted by not having citizenship, and if any of you are looking to move to a different country in the Caribbean, I'm here to help you to locate where you need to go. As usual, all links shall be posted down below, so stay tuned. So briefly, citizenship is the status of any individual within the country that they reside in. So for example, me, I was born in the UK in 1988. I'm British citizen because, as I explained many times before, because my mother gained her citizenship in the early 1980s. Even though she was born in Barbados, she had Baden citizenship. She had Basin citizenship. Well, Barbadian to be more accurate. She had Barbadian citizenship. Basically, what happened was, back in the 1980s, in order to get British citizenship, you had to give up your previous citizenship. So she was not able to have dual citizenship. However, now you can have dual citizenship with Barbados and England. Or should I say, you can have dual citizenship with Barbados and Britain, to be more exact, because we have British passports, not an English passport, but British, which, encompasses England, Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland. Okay, so those 4 islands make up Britain, all right? So, if anyone else is, wondering how to get citizenship in any of these individual countries, then I am here, me, Skin Glow and Afro, to help you get your citizenship in these countries, because I keep putting it off. I've been putting it off for such a long time, and I need to sort it out next year. Not necessarily because I want to move there in the future, but just in general, I want to sort it out, because I can't keep, mithering about the place and not doing it. I need to sort it out for myself. Before I show you the whole citizenship things, because I got my laptop open, before I show you all that, I wanted to explain why the Windrush generation was impacted by this whole citizenship thing, because basically, as I said before, the 1980s, you was a citizen of a country based on what your mother was. So if my mother at the time of me being born hadn't had British citizenship, then I would have been, Barbadian. But can't always have it that way. However, the reason the Windrush generation has been impacted is because when they came over here in the 1940s to the 1970s, that encompasses the Windrush 1940s to the 1970s, right? Basically, when they came over, they were still the Caribbean countries are part of the Commonwealth, as in what countries British colonialism ruled, slavery, etc. When they came over here, they were British subjects. So they didn't necessarily need to have a British citizenship, because they were British citizens at the time they came over to the UK. But then, in the 1980s, Margaret Thatcher came along. She became the Prime Minister in the 1970s. When she came along, she changed the rules in the 1980s so that you could only... so that you were only a citizen based on what your mother is at the time of your birth. So basically, this is what's getting them in a lot of trouble. Plus, what also happened is, because they came over on a ship, they had passes to come over as well. The Home Office lost those passes, which means that they did not have any evidence that they came into the country legally, as in they were invited into this country. So this situation has messed them up. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. If the Home Office had not, let me go back. If Margaret Thatcher had not changed the rules, changed the law, if Margaret Thatcher had not changed the law, and if the Home Office had not lost the passengers' identifications with those passes, then this situation would have been resolved a long time ago. But we all know how racism and bigotry has an impact on how quickly something gets resolved. Have you noticed in the newspapers currently, they're talking about how Labour, they're talking about Labour and anti-Semitism, which is basically, you know, which is basically bigotry against Jewish people. But have you noticed how not a single person who is attacking Labour for anti-Semitism is talking about the whole Windrush situation? It's been completely erased to the point where it's kind of like, what on earth are they doing? Like, what on earth are they actually doing? Not a single time since this whole general election has been going on have they mentioned the whole Windrush situation. People are dying. Someone died, another person died last week. And I remember I did say I was going to do another video on this, which I will do as soon as possible. It'll probably come on Sunday because I already have videos planned this week, but it will be done. I'm just so frustrated because everything is about anti-Semitism, which is valid, but so is the whole Windrush situation because it's not being resolved. Why are they not talking to Boris Johnson about that situation? Why is Philip Schofield on This Morning yelling at Jeremy Corbyn saying, are you going to apologise for Labour's anti-Semitism, when the man has apologised in the past? But yeah, I bet Philip Schofield is not going to invite Boris Johnson on This Morning and ask him to apologise for racism and bigotry that happened with the whole Windrush situation, which is still going on. He won't do it. Also, if you have your citizenship stripped within a country, or if your citizenship is called into question, you no longer have a right to work in that country. You can't claim benefits. You can't pay taxes. All this thing builds up until they basically put you in a deportation centre. Once you're in there, They're basically just waiting for a plane to be chartered so that they can deport you out of the country. Or what they would do is they will get you in contact with the deportation centre, and you have to then weekly go visit that deportation centre. This is the thing, weekly. And if you don't have any money and you don't live anywhere near that deportation centre, how are you going to get there? Especially considering the fact that the government's not going to give you no money to go to that deportation centre. And this is exactly what the problem is right now. Everybody has a right to citizenship, right? Everybody has a right to citizenship. However, the government in this country does not seem to understand that. The government in America does not seem to understand that everybody has a right to citizenship. It don't matter where you come from. You have a right. You have a right to feel safe. You have a right to feel. You have a right to feel loved. You have a right to feel like people actually care about you. But instead, people from the Windrush generation, or some people who weren't even a part of the Windrush generation, are being deported out this country on a daily basis. And some of them are dying without even having their British citizenship sorted out. Or some of them, because of this stress, they've had their British citizenship sorted out and then they end up dropping dead. And because of the months and years of worry, and we've not been able to work, who's going to pay for their funerals? The government's not going to do it. So this is why this whole citizenship topic is, is something I've been meaning to talk about for a long time. Like, properly talk about it like this, have a proper sit-down conversation, show you links where you can go apply for your citizenship, because it needs to be done. Because I know there are certain people that I have spoken to who don't want to live in the UK for the rest of their lives, and they are okay to do that. Now, a fair warning, if you have dual citizenship, then the country that you're originally from, if you run into a problem in the next country where you have citizenship, the country, so say like I have dual citizenship with Barbados when I apply, basically what happens with, if anything happens in Barbados, England's not going to get involved. That's just a fair warning. They won't get involved. However, I still want to have dual citizenship regardless, even though it sounds bad. Because like, if I had dual citizenship, I can come back and forth however as I please. It's only if I'm living in Barbados, if I have dual citizenship, England will not get involved in, Britain will not get involved in anything that happens to me over there. However, if I was living in Barbados and I just had my British citizenship, because having a British passport gets you places. This is what people don't seem to realise. British passport gets you a lot of places. It really does. It holds a lot of value. And it's a lot of reasons why, you know, people have a lot of stigmatization if you don't have a British passport. So yes, let's get down to the nitty gritty. All right. So let me get down. Let me do this. Let me do this because I don't want this video to be overly long. But yes, it needs to be done. So I shall be back in a bit. So as you can see here, I've just gone onto my Twitter page. So make sure to follow me. Yes, this is me on my Twitter page. But anyway, let me just scroll down. So this is my how to gain citizenship moment. I created this moment sometime last year. I don't remember exactly when it was. And I've already clicked onto it, so it's right here. So yeah, I created this the 12th of February last year. I didn't remember the exact date. I think I did the original post January last year, and then I created the moment February last year, so that all the information was in one. Oh, so okay. So I just checked because I didn't remember the exact date, but it was the 11th of February when I created the initial you know, posts and everything, and then it was obviously the 12th when I created the moment. So I actually did it quite close together. Anyway, I was just like, you know what, let me just put all the information together. It would just make a lot of sense. So I basically said, I honestly believe every single British-born West Indian should apply for citizenship in their parents' countries. We need to rebuild connections. And if you like me, want to move to where they come from, do it once you can afford to. So many people are going back to Nigeria and Ghana, etc. We West Indians need to start doing the same instead of putting money into a British economy that doesn't value it. And honestly, will things change for Black British people with regards to racism? Nope, because white people are comfortably racist. So yeah, I'm making plans to move on my citizenship. I will gain this year. I'm going to do Barbados first, then consider Jamaica. However, by the time I do it next year, it's actually going to be like 2 years from when I originally said it. But you know what? It's all good. So as you can see, I got all the links up here. So first, let me go onto this British Citizen website. So yep, it says all of this information here. British citizenship. Apply for citizenship. Check if you can become a British citizen. Dual citizenship. After you apply, citizenship ceremonies. Organise your citizenship ceremony with your council. British passport eligibility. Replace or correct a UK citizenship certificate. Replace or correct a UK citizenship certificate. Application for review when British citizenship is refused. Give up, renounce British citizenship or nationality. Now, what you can do is if the country that you want to apply for citizenship doesn't have dual citizenship and you plan to move there, then you can renounce your British citizenship and then just take on the citizenship of the country where you plan to move to. In some cases, it will actually make it a lot easier. Confirm your nationality status. Windrush scheme. Prove your right to be in the UK. Citizenship application forms. Okay, so let's see if it's got the... So I clicked on this one, apply to naturalise as a British citizen. Become a British citizen by naturalisation. And it says apply for citizenship by naturalisation if you live in the Channel Islands, Isle of Man, a British overseas territory, or if you live elsewhere and want to apply by post. These are citizenship applications and the right of abode from the 6th of April 2018. So let's see what that says. This includes fees for reconsideration, status checks, duplicate certificates, confirmation of non-acquisition of British citizenship and certificate corrections. Okay, so the prices here are adults applying for British citizenship, naturalisation, 1,330. Blood clot. Pricey. Bloody rip-off if you ask me. Registration application form 1,206. And this one for the ceremony fee only is £80, so it's still expensive. If you're applying to naturalise as British overseas territory citizens, £1,000. Adults applying to register as British overseas territory citizens, British overseas citizens, British protected person or British subjects, it is possible to be registered or naturalised as a British overseas territory citizens in the UK only in exceptional circumstances, and that's £901. Think about it, a lot of people who are applying for citizenship in this country, they're also not applying just for themselves but also applying for the children, and the majority of the children are under 18. So it's you as an adult, as a parent, sorry, or a legal guardian, having to fork out all this money for citizenship for yourself and for your children. And it's why some people just don't apply, because they literally can't afford it. I mean, when my parents applied for their citizenship in the 80s, it was nowhere near this expensive. I don't know why it's gone up so much. It does not even make any sense. Anyway, so next up is Barbados citizenship. So let's click on the official Gov website. Ah, for God's sake. So I finally managed to get onto the website. My bloody laptop was not having it, so you know, I just had to proceed unsafely. You see that? Not secure, cheeky, just because you don't recognize it. But anyway, there are several ways to apply for Barbadian citizenship. So by virtue of marriage, the application fee is $300, and if approved, there's a final fee of $1,500. And it says that you require the applicant's birth certificate, husband or wife's birth certificate, document of citizenship if not Barbadian by birth, marriage certificates, 3 passport size photographs, one of which should be certified by Justice of the Peace or Notary Public. This Justice or Peace or Notary Public ought to certify the application form. If previous marriage were terminated by death or divorce, an appropriate death certificate. It should be noted that in the event of any discrepancy or any of the names appearing on the documents required above, then an affidavit must be submitted in order to clarify the same. Now, of course, most people will be doing it through descent. So it says descent, a non-refundable application fee of $300, which is roughly about 150 English pounds, so it's not that bad. It says you require an application form, request for certificate of citizenship by descent, applicant's original birth certificate. If the birth certificate is not in English, a translation must be prepared by an accredited translator and submitted with the original. Birth certificates on behalf of each parent, specifically the Barbadian parent. Marriage certificate and or divorce document on behalf of parents. 3 passport size photos signed by Justice of the Peace, a Notary Public, and it says photos are required for all applicants of all ages. If applicant is married, a marriage certificate is required. All original documents must be accompanied by photocopies. If all the documents are not in order, the application will not be accepted. Yeah. So next up, I am applying for Jamaican citizenship. So I'm clicking on the Jamaican Information Service. And of course, it doesn't have a problem coming onto this one. So it says there's different applications for citizenship: descent, marriage, naturalization, registration, Commonwealth, and registration minor. So it says based on descent, by law, outside of Jamaica, by law, all persons born outside of Jamaica who have a claim to Jamaican citizenship by descent, whether through parents or grandparents, are required to formally apply for the certification of Jamaican citizenship. This applies also to those who may have held Jamaican passports previously and now need to renew and be issued with machine readable passports. You can go onto this picker website here where you can apply for your application form and passport, etc. I also found out today on the Twitter page for Picker that they're soon going to be online officially, so that you can renew your passport from anywhere in the world. So you no longer have to actually go to Jamaica to the Picker place to renew your passport. You can now do it from wherever you are located, which makes a lot of sense. So it says if one or both parents are Jamaicans, applicants' full birth certificate showing parents' names, applicant's passport, applicant's marriage certificate if applicable, Jamaicans' parents' birth certificate and passport, preferably Jamaican. Parents' marriage certificate if applicable. It says if applying through Jamaican grandparents, full birth certificate, applicant's passport, applicant's marriage certificate if applicable, father, mother's birth certificate and passport, maternal, paternal, grandparents' birth certificate and passport, preferably Jamaican, parents, grandparents' marriage certificate if applicable. All applications should be accompanied by 2 certified passport size photographs. Applicants should submit the completed application form to the offices of Picker if applying in Jamaica and the offices of the Jamaican High Commission Consulate. So yeah, so it says please note all fees are subject to change without notice. So if you're applying from the US, then it's $100 US. Canada, it is 110 Canadian dollars. If you're doing it from Jamaica, it is 5,000 Jamaican dollars. GBP, which is here in Britain, it is £60, and Europe it's 74 euros. So next up we have Dominica. Not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, I am talking about Dominica, which is in the East Caribbean. So it says citizenship of the Commonwealth for Dominica can be obtained by birth, parentage, marriage, virtue of residence. Requirements for applying for citizenship: completed application forms available at the Labour Division, Ministry of National Security, Labour and Immigration. Letter addressed to Minister for Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Labour requesting citizenship. Police record, birth certificate, 4 passport size photos, medical certificate including HIV test, bank statement recommendation from banker, marriage certificate, 2 testimonials, application fee of EC $250 to be paid at the Treasury Department, Treasury receipt as a proof of payment of application, copy of work resident permit, copy of the biodata page of passport and the pages with date of issue and expiry date, EC $20 stamps application forms, oath of allegiance, EC $20 adhesive stamps for oath of allegiance. Stamps are available for purchase at the General Post Office in Rose and its branches. If the Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Labour approves application, applicant is required to take an oath at the registry, pay registration fee of EC $2,000 at the Treasury Department. Rah, expensive. I was not expecting Dominican citizenship to be like that. I honestly thought that you could do it through, well, yeah, birth, parentage. So I presume that's how they class it as. However, you have a lot more things to do than Barbados and Jamaica. I was not expecting that HIV test whatsoever. Like medical certificate, rah. But I would presume that they mean if you're applying for citizenship and plan to move there. But then again, Barbados and Jamaica don't have that. But, you know, every country has its rules, so I can understand that. So next up we have Trinidad and Tobago. It says application for citizenship. Foreign nationals wishing to obtain all rights and privileges enjoyed by citizens of Trinidad and Tobago must apply for citizen. If you're a Commonwealth citizen, You must have resident status and residing in Trinidad and Tobago for at least 5 years before the date of application. If you're a non-Commonwealth citizen, you must have had resident status and be residing in Trinidad and Tobago for at least 8 years before the date of the application. For children under the age of 18, the responsible parent must be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. All applicants must be of good character and must obtain a police certificate of character from Trinidad and Tobago, dated not more than 6 months from the date of application. Please follow the link for more information on obtaining a certificate of character, which I won't be looking. You must obtain and complete 3 copies of the appropriate application form. So Form 1 for a child of citizen by descent, Form 7 from registration of citizen, Commonwealth citizens, Form 8 for a minor child of a naturalised or registered citizen, Form 11 for naturalisation of citizen, non-Commonwealth citizens. You can collect application forms at Trinidad and Tobago Overseas Mission or at the place in Port of Spain. It says here the fees, so it says TNT, so Trinidad and Tobago dollars $940 for registration of a Commonwealth citizen as a Trinidad and Tobago citizen. Trinidad and Tobago $1,040 for naturalization of a non-Commonwealth citizen as a Trinidad and Tobago citizen. TNT $340 for registration of a minor as a Trinidad and Tobago citizen. And the payment must be paid in cash or certified check at the cashier's unit in Trinidad and Tobago. Again, in Port of Spain. Let me quickly just go over the required documentation for Trinidad and Tobago. 4 identical passport size photos, Trinidad and Tobago national identification card, birth certificate and supporting affidavit, police certificate of character from Trinidad and Tobago, job letter or evidence of registration of company and letter indicating nature of employment and income, tax clearance certificate B and C. Please follow the link below. And that is just for if you're under the age of 18. So Trinidad and Tobago is done. And finally, I'm doing St. Kitts and Nevis. So let's see what they have to say. So it says initial applications for citizenship by investment are not handled by the High Commission. So it's telling you to visit a different place. So the High Commission can assist with the review of applications and sending them to St. Kitts and Nevis. In the case of citizenship by descent, for parents who required citizenship by investment, all documents must be originals plus photocopies. Please make checks payable to Accountant General. Applicant will be advised of all documents required when we are unable to refund the fees for an application that has been unsuccessful or withdrawn. So I was looking for more information on St. Kitts and Nevis with regards to descent, but I'm not really seeing much. It's mainly by investment. So it says be of outstanding character, hold no criminal record, have excellent health, have a high personal net worth. So basically, if you want to become a St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship by investment, you got to have a lot of moolah in your bank. Money. Oh, okay, here it is. Just found it. So this is through descent. So it's saying listed below the necessary requirements when applying for citizenship by descent. It's saying that the fee is £60. So that's not bad actually. £60 is pretty good. I don't understand why it was not showing when I originally was on that page, but it's all good. So yep, application is £60, which is the same as becoming a citizenship in Jamaica, so it's pretty good. So that is it for this video. I hope that it's not too long. If it is, I'm gonna have to clip some of this information out, but I shall include the, the most important bits anyway. So I hope you found this video useful. As I said, I will post all these links down below, so do not worry about it. Including the UK Gov website, the Barbados Gov website, Jamaican Gov website, Trinidad and Tobago Gov website, Dominica website, and obviously the St. Kitts and Nevis one. So please let me know your thoughts down below. Do you plan to apply for citizenship in these Caribbean countries or other Caribbean countries? Let me know. And if you're struggling to find information on other Caribbean countries, then I shall be the one. Trust me, I shall be the one to put you in the right direction. All right, peace, bye.